The first time I touched Precious' hand, nothing dramatic happened. No thunder, no music, no ancestors speaking from the clouds. Just two school children touching fingers of a fallen book. Small thing, tiny thing. But years later, people would die because of that moment. That is the terrifying thing about life. Sometimes disaster does not end screaming. Sometimes it arrives smiling, quietly, like love. And before Brighton Manyika ruined my life, before grief turned me into someone people feared, there was a season when I was simply a boy in love. A poor boy, a shy boy, a hopeful boy. And her name was Precious. At school, I was known as a good boy. That sounds simple now, but back then, it meant something. Teachers trusted me. Neighbors greeted me warmly. Old women sent me to buy tomatoes and knew I would return with the change. At Yamuranai Primary School, I did well in class. I was not the loudest child, not the funniest, not the strongest, but I listened. I liked numbers. I liked compositions. I liked the smell of new exercise books before the pages became dirty with mistakes. And I loved when teachers wrote two words at the bottom of my work in red pen. Very good. Those words could carry me for a whole week. Very good. Maybe because I wanted to make my grandmother proud. Maybe because I felt I owed the world something after the way I ended it. I do not know, but I tried. I truly tried. After school, while other boys rushed to play or fight or chase each other through the streets, I often took a different route home. Behind Yamuranai Primary, there was a small bushy area where the ground had patches of clay soil. My grandmother liked eating clay. Some people laughed at old women for that. I never did. To me, it was simply one of the things that made her pottery. So I would kneel in the dirt and dig small blocks of clay with my hands. I wrapped them carefully in old newspaper and carried them home like treasure. And every time I gave them to her, her eyes softened. Wafunga nizvangu, she would say. You thought of me. Those words meant more to me than sweets, more than football, more than anything. Because when you are raised by someone who has suffered deeply, making them smile feels like defeating sadness for a moment. I also played football, and I was good. Not good in the way every boy claims he is good. Actually good. Fast feet, sharp turns, a left foot that surprised people. Teachers noticed, coaches noticed. Older boys called me to their teams. For a while, I believed football might become my road out of poverty, out of struggle, out of the kind of life where every dollar arrives already tired. My grandmother believed it too. Whenever I came home dusty and sweating, she would pretend to scold me. You would tear your only uniform, but I could hear the pride hiding behind her voice. Sometimes she would sit outside and watch me juggle a ball made from plastic and string. I would count loudly, 10, 20, 30, then fail. She would laugh and say, again. So I would start again. That was my childhood. School, football, clay soil, stories by candlelight, a grandmother who loved me with old hands and a tired heart. And maybe, if life had continued like that, people would never have danced at my funeral. Maybe I would have become a teacher, maybe a footballer, maybe just an ordinary man with ordinary happiness. But life was not finished with me. It was still preparing something. And one rainy morning at Murinywe Secondary School, I saw her. I met Precious at Muriinge Secondary School, Form 1, that age when boys begin pretending they are men and girls begin realizing boys are mostly noise wearing school uniforms. I remember the day clearly. It had rained the night before, so the schoolyard smelled of wet dust and grass. Students were scattered everywhere, some still confused about classrooms, some already acting like they owned the school. I was standing near the veranda with two boys from my class when I saw her, Precious Dube. She walked past carrying her books against her chest. She was not trying to be noticed. That is what made everyone notice. Her hair was neatly done. Her uniform was clean. Her socks were pulled properly. But it was not those things. It was the way she carried herself. Calm, quiet, as if the world could be bending around her and she would still walk carefully enough not to spill water from a cup. Then she smiled at someone. Not at me, at someone else. But I saw it, and immediately I forgot what my friends were saying. One of them, a boy named Farai, followed my eyes and laughed. "Ah, Todini, you are finished." I told him to be quiet, but he was right. I was finished. Not in the foolish way boys talk about beauty. Something deeper happened, something dangerous. Something inside me recognized her before I even knew her. Like my heart had been waiting for a name. Precious. Even a name sounded dangerous, because precious things are easy to love and hard to protect. For days I said nothing to her. I only watched from a distance. Not in a strange way. In the way shy boys watch girls they believe are too wonderful to approach. I learned small things. She liked walking with two girls named Rudo and Chipo. She was good in English. She laughed with her hand near her mouth, and she did not like noisy boys. That last part was bad news for many people. Good news for me, because I was not noisy. Still, I was afraid. You must understand something. When you grow up poor, you learn to desire quietly. You do not ask for too much because life has already taught you that wanting can embarrass you. Even though I liked Precious, I convinced myself she was not for boys like me. Then one day during break time, I found her standing near the classroom door, struggling with a pile of books. One slipped from her hands and fell. I picked it up. Our fingers touched when I gave it back. Small thing, tiny thing. But sometimes an entire life bends at a tiny thing. "Thank you," she said. I wanted to say something clever, something charming, something that would make her remember me forever. Instead, I said, "Yes." Just yes, nothing else. She looked at me for a moment, then she laughed. Not cruelly, softly. That laugh followed me home. I heard it while eating. I heard it while washing plates. I heard it while pretending to study. My grandmother noticed immediately. Old women notice everything. "You are smiling like a thief," she said. I nearly dropped my book. "A thief?" I asked. "Yes," she said. "Someone has stolen something, or someone has stolen from you." I said nothing. She stared at me for a long time, then she laughed. "So it is a girl." I denied it, badly. She laughed even harder. That night, for the first time in my life, I wondered if life was finally becoming beautiful. I did not know beauty could become the doorway grief uses to enter. At school, Precious looked like light, but at home, she lived under a shadow. I did not know everything at first. People hide pain well, especially girls who have learned that nobody is coming to rescue them. What I knew was that her father had died when she was still very young. His name was Todini Dube. He died in the Warren Park traffic accident in 1995. A terrible accident. One of those tragedies people still discuss quietly after years. Precious was only 3 years old. After that, her mother remarried. The man she married was called Brighton Manyika. Byron was the kind of man whose footsteps could change the temperature inside a house. He drank, he shouted, he beat people. He carried anger like it was his birthright. He had a son, Brighton. If Byron was fire, Brighton was smoke. Quiet, sneaky, always entering places before you noticed him. He was older than Precious by 7 years, but they attended the same school because Brighton had repeated grades. People laughed about that behind his back, never to his face. Brighton did not forgive humiliation. He stored it. I saw him around school before I understood who he was to Precious. He had eyes that watched too long, a smile that never fully reached his face. Other boys avoided him unless they wanted something illegal, dangerous, or both. He was not the type to fight immediately. That would have been easier. Brighton liked waiting. He liked knowing where people walked, who they spoke to, what they feared. He liked control. And when he discovered that Precious and I were becoming close, he did not shout. He did not threaten me immediately. He watched. That should have frightened me, but I was young, and love makes young people brave in ways that look foolish from a distance. Precious and I began with small conversations, then longer ones, then letters. She had beautiful handwriting. Mine looked like a chicken that walked through wet soil, but she never complained. Our letters were innocent, painfully innocent. We wrote about school, football, teachers, dreams, and how one day we would leave the noise of Mufakose and build a quiet life somewhere with fruit trees, clean curtains, and children who would never know the kind of fear we had known. Every letter began the same way. It was Precious who wrote it first. My beloved is beautiful. My beloved loves me, and I love him. So I am safe. I laughed the first time I read it. Why did you write that? I asked her later. She shrugged shyly. Because when I write it, I feel safe. After that, every letter began with those words. They became ours, a private door only we could open. My beloved is beautiful. My beloved loves me, and I love him. So I am safe. Safe. That word destroys me now, because I loved Precious more than football, more than my own future, maybe even more than myself. But loving someone and protecting them are not always the same thing. And the painful truth is this: I loved Precious deeply, but I could not keep her safe. Love changed everything slowly. First the letters, then the smiles, then the dreams. Soon, Precious was no longer just a girl at school. She became the safest place inside my heart, and every letter she wrote carried the same 4 lines. My beloved is beautiful. My beloved loves me, and I love him, so I am safe. Safe. That word would later haunt me like a ghost. Because while we were busy dreaming about our future, someone else was studying us from the shadows, watching, waiting, learning our movements, and his name was Brighton Manyika. The first time Brighton confronted me directly, he already had one of our letters in his pocket. He unfolded it slowly, then read precious words out loudly while his friends laughed behind him. "My beloved is beautiful." Something dangerous moved inside me that day. Not anger, protection. And when Brighton finally stepped close enough for me to smell cigarettes on his uniform, he whispered something I will never forget. "Leave Precious alone." I should have listened to the hatred hiding behind his voice, because some people do not destroy love because they want the girl. They destroy it because they cannot stand seeing happiness survive near them. And Brighton had already decided one of us was going to suffer. Next time, we will witness the first warning, the moment Brighton stopped watching and started hunting. And trust me, the worst monsters are never the loud ones.